Raga, fanculo la scuola. Parto sto video così. Fanculo la scuola, sono le 23:20 e sincero andiamo a guardare un bel podcast di NASSER al Yarimi, quindi andiamo direttamente a rimpicciolire adesso. Ho bevuto pure un caffè così da essere abbastanza attento. L'unica cosa è, spero che sia, cioè che mi piaccia. Non è che mi piaccia o meno, però speriamo sia abbastanza bello. Credo di sì, comunque tutti i suoi video sono veramente tanto belli.
I remember blowing accounts and just sitting in my garden thinking to myself, how much longer am I going to keep losing blowing accounts?
For me, trading was always plan A. Everything else was always plan B. So I would never let anything get in the way of trading. And I'll always try to find a way to do the trading first.
Why would I have fear of missing out when my future is written? The amount of money I'm going to receive is written. The people in my life are written. The feeling I'm going to feel for the rest of my life is written. All of these things are written. So why would I have the fear of missing out when I know that God is the perfect person to steer this ship that I'm in? I know I can do this now. Like, I don't care. Keep your money. Keep your nonsense prop firm. I don't care. I know I can do this now.
Comunque l'intro l'ho già guardata, tipo i primi un minuto. Poi appena iniziato a parlare ho detto, sincero, ci faccio un video.
That is something inside me that I've been waiting for so long. You are irresponsible. You are a person who has no discipline. You are somebody who has no eye for the future. You are a maniac until you figure it out. Then they call you a genius. Welcome back to another video on the Yarimi University YouTube channel. Today we are back with a new segment called Zen Zone. Yes, you heard it right. I had to say it slowly because it's a tongue twister and it's in the name. Is to help you trade from a Zen, peaceful point of view. So it doesn't take a genius to guess that this is going to be pertaining psychology, emotions that traders typically go through whenever they're trading the market, a discussion, a conversation between me and my very good friend Saleh that is going to be covering subjects that we went through ourselves, subjects that we still go through till this day with regards to trading psychology, how we overcome certain issues and what we believe the cure to certain issues are within the market. So without further ado, we have a few questions that we're going to go through and we'll just share our general thoughts and opinions on those topics. Ready, bro?
Yep, let's go. So the first question is, what was your lowest point in trading and what stopped you from quitting entirely?
I definitely believe that my lowest moment in trading was when I was on universal credit and I was receiving money from the government. And because
arrivo, metto la luce. Ok. Così almeno mi vedete anche.
The amount was so little, I was literally forced and trapped in a corner to try and make something happen because I would not get any new source of income until the following month. So I would use that money and deposit it into my live account and try and trade it and end up losing it because I had no real strategy in place. I remember blowing accounts and just sitting in my garden thinking to myself, how much longer am I going to keep losing blowing accounts? Looking back now, it's obviously easy for me to say I know exactly why. I was trading the wrong strategy, didn't really have a mentor, couldn't afford a mentor. So I was all over the place. So my results are naturally going to be a direct reflection of the state of mind that I was in. But the lowest moment for me was definitely being in that state where I was forced to take trades because I'm in a down bad situation. But in the moment you think you're doing everything right, you think that's the equivalent of hard work because you're active, you're taking trades. When in reality, no, like you're literally on welfare, waiting for money from the government. So you're thinking to yourself, I've got so little to work with. I have to make it happen from this little amount. That's
Scrive tipo Caritas. Non scrivere. No, non credo sia sta roba. No. Ci credo sia tipo una roba
that's
come
a
la
detrimental
Caritas.
place to be in. So that for me was definitely the lowest point, mentally as well. Like I was going through it, bro. Yeah, what about you?
For me, I remember it so clearly, yeah. I basically blew my account on a Monday morning. And the way
On a Monday
morning, yeah. And it was everything that I had in the account at the time. I'd taken like about 2 to 3 weeks to build it up.
Wait, is that when I was in your house?
No. This was way before.
Oh, okay.
This was way before. Before even like we even met.
Yeah.
So I had like a £250 account that I'd grown up to £1,000.
Comunque lui lo vedo qualche volta nei suoi reel, ma non ho capito chi è.
And that was a lot because
Perché, vabbè, da come ho sentito del suo amico.
you have to realize that this is not money from a job. This is money that I traded up. So I was quite proud of that progress. But I made the stupid mistake of 1, holding trades over the weekend, and 2, removing my stop loss. So Monday came and basically the market opens up, it gapped lower, and I thought, yeah, we'll come back. I went to sleep, I woke up, count was gone. And I remember that whole day, I just stayed in my room. You know when somebody's just quiet?
The stop loss sleep.
Yeah. Like, nothing you say is getting through to them. You're like, yo, do you want to eat? They're like... I was just quiet the whole day.
Non
Just
dovrei
in bed.
ridere.
And
I can't lie though, Salih has the funniest face whenever he's in drawdown or stop loss. Do you ever know someone so well that you look at them and you know whenever they're in drawdown, or you know whenever they've hit stop loss for the day? I wish I was there to see that.
so, yeah, so I was just... I'm going to try and, like, reenact the face that I was making at the time. One second, yeah. I was like...
Yeah, that's
Comunque raga, assomiglia un botto a Sterling. Guardate. Sfruttatelo. Sterling. Figa. È gli assomiglia un botto. Guardate.
Yeah, that's your natural face, bro.
So, but all day...
E intanto
Maybe I
guardo-
got up, went toilet, came back, had some food, but I didn't talk to anyone that whole day. And my brain was just fried. It's not like I felt depressed, I felt like... I was obviously depressed, but...
Mental fatigue.
Yeah, I was just finished. You know, no thoughts coming into your mind. It's just like nothing. And I remember the whole day like that. And this is 8 a.m. I'm looking at my phone. The whole account is gone. So 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11
So
a.m.,
you got
12.
killed before your kill zone.
I was finished before the week even
Brutta
started.
questa battuta, Yarimi, non fai ridere.
And the worst thing you can do is blow your account on Monday.
That is so dumb.
So I was in a very dark place. On top of that, my life wasn't in the best place either. Yeah. So I was like, I don't even. It's
At that
no
time-
words.
at that
I just
time,
have
what
to
were
be.
you doing? Was it doing
I was
a
working.
job?
No. At that time, I think I had just left the loan job and I didn't have a job at that time.
Okay.
So that's why I was in that kind of desperate situation, and I was growing it slowly. Like
Because you
discipline
used to
was
deliver
everything was-
laundry?
Yeah. So I used to work for a dry cleaner, and I used to deliver laundry from the dry cleaner to hotels. Right. So in that moment, I was like, it's like everything just disappeared. My dreams, goals, and I was just in a state of just kind of dumbfounded. I think that's the best way to explain it. And then
No,
like
senti questa parte.
to hotels. So a kind of desperate situation, and I was growing it slowly. Like
'Cause you
discipline
used to
was
deliver
there, everything was
laundry?
there. Yeah. So I used to work for a dry cleaner, and I used to deliver laundry from the dry cleaner to hotels. Right. So in that moment,
Cos'è sto link, raga?
I was like, it's like everything just disappeared. My dreams, goals, and I was just in a state of just kind of dumbfounded. I think that's the best way to explain it. And then, and I was like, everything just disappeared. My dreams, goals, and I was just in a state of just kind of dumbfounded. I think that's the best way to explain it. And then, you know, like I didn't go on my phone like that. I was ignoring people's messages. And then towards the end of the day, so that was my lowest point.
Just to take it back, just very quickly, sorry, because I really want to dive into this point. Were you trading whilst you was working that laundry job where you had to pick up people's laundry and deliver it to them?
Yeah.
You were trading. So the reason why I mention that is because I think it will be profound for us to tackle this deeply, because you were working a normal job, a job where it's hard labor. And I remember seeing videos of it raining and you're riding a bike.
Yeah.
You're literally riding a bicycle, delivering laundry. What made you just say, I still want to carry on trading whilst I'm doing this job, or forget trading, or like what was going through your mind for you to think, you know what, I'm still going to persevere in trading even though this job physically requires me to put in manual labor? What was the state of mind you was in?
For me, yeah, I'm just going to answer at this. For me, trading was always plan A. Everything else was always plan B. So I would never let anything get in the way of trading, and I'll always try to find a way to do the trading first. I feel like sometimes I meet people and they're doing trading, but you can tell it's not their plan A. They don't really believe it's going to work. It's more like a hobby. Oh, I'll do this. If it does get me out, then it will get me out. For me, it wasn't like that. For me, it was like, this is my way out.
has to get me out.
Yeah, this has to get me out. I'm not doing this dry cleaning job because I want to. I'm doing it because I have to, because I need to make money to put into the trading account. So obviously, when you do a month of that, Yeah, and I remember I was so broke them times. I'd have to like take a long route just to get to work because that route basically I didn't have to pay for train and stuff. Yeah, so
you're thinking of the extra Oyster card tap.
yes, I'm like, nah, even the Oyster card tap was too much to take away from my, you know what I mean, in terms of my circumstances.
If you know about that, that's a dark time.
Yeah.
You know when you're having to strategize what route you're going to take because this tap is going to take out this much from your card, and if that much is gone, you can't tap at the next station.
Yes.
That is a dark place to be in.
So that's how I was. So imagine I have to take the long route to work where I can basically get to work for free, and then there was a bit of an extra walk, but that extra walk was worth it for the money I was saving. Yeah. And then I'm doing this job where I have
Aspettate, non ho capito, tipo... Non ho capito se hai installato un'app per camminare o cosa.
Grab a bunch of laundry from the hotels at 8 a.m. every morning, and I had to go to 5 different hotels. Some of them weren't close to each other, right? And I had this electric bike that was very temperamental. Sometimes it would work, sometimes it wouldn't.
So are you, in this stage of your life, this is a company you're working for, or was it your business?
So it was a small company, but I worked my way up in that company. So I was kind of like carrying I was doing, basically I believe in the company vision.
You're steering the ship, basically.
Yeah. So I believe in the company vision, and I thought, this will be very big. Everyone has to start somewhere. So even though still trading was my plan A, I was doing this as if it was like, you never know, this could pay off. Because the thing with me is, I like to do everything like full-heartedly. I'm not going to go in like half-hearted. If I'm going to do something, I'm going to do it properly. I'm not going to be like, let me just whatever. So I was doing that properly, and I was doing the trading stuff properly as well. So I thought at the time. So anyways, so we're talking about 8 a.m. Have to be at the hotels collecting all of this, laundry. I have to go to different hotels, somewhere in Tower Gateway, so around that area, somewhere in Canary Wharf. I'd have to go back and
aspettate. Porca troia, ogni... Clavish, perché Clavish? Voglio vedere dov'è Canary Wharf. Canary Wharf.
Forth from those areas. I had to use this bike that wouldn't always work, and it had pedals in it. It was an electric bike though, but you see loads of them right now in London, but around that time it was kind of very new. It came from China and stuff, and the CEO of that company had a massive vision to do all of this stuff. Anyways, so I'm doing that, and
comunque intanto stavo pensando anche al titolo del video. Cosa scriviamo? Fanculo la scuola, mi guardo una serie Yarimi. Fanculo i professori, mi guardo una serie Yarimi.
Bear in mind, it was quite embarrassing as well, right? I used to wear a mask so that nobody would recognize my face, and I would do that job, do what I have to do. And so anyway, coming back to trading now, I was trading on the side. So these times I didn't have no rules. I didn't know when to trade. My trading was very, very different. So it was more like, when I jump on the charts, I'm just going to trade like this, like support and resistance, etc. What you see online, right? There's free stuff that you always see, or the stuff that you always see online that's marketed by most people and said, this is the way forward.
So
anyway,
that was your lowest moment.
Yeah. So that was my lowest moment when I blew the account. Why I didn't quit is because, so this is the realization now. At the end of the day, a thought came into my head, and it was, why did you remove your stop loss? So I had to answer that question to myself. Why did I remove my stop loss? Because I didn't want to lose. Okay, cool. But even if you lost, it wouldn't have been like now. So it was like a A and B scenario. You would have lost, but you wouldn't have lost your whole account.
Yep.
And then I was like, all right, cool. This is the way forward. But I kind of realized in that moment, I was the idiot that made the mistake. And so I thought, okay, cool. I'm not going to do this again.
That's why they say every single blown account starts with one bad trade.
Yeah.
You have to accept the loss.
Yeah.
Because you didn't accept the loss, you lost your whole account.
Exactly.
Interesting.
Because I didn't listen, I had to feel it.
The Jamaicans say, "Im na ear must feel."
And I felt it, trust me. That whole day. So how does FOMO affect us, not just on the charts, but in life? And how do we fight the urge to chase what isn't ours?
That's a good question, and to be honest, I'll keep this one very simple.
How do we fight that whole day? So how does FOMO affect us, not just on the charts, but in life? And how do we fight the urge to chase what isn't ours?
That's a good question, and to be honest, I'll keep this one very simple. I'll split it into two. So life, general life, outside of trading, and trading. So in trading, I used to have a lot of FOMO. I wanted to get into every trade, every move. Some days I'll take like 8 trades, 10 trades in a day when I was getting started, of course. And that's simply because I believed that tomorrow won't be another day. And then when I eventually realized, oh, hold on, the market is open on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Opportunities are available every single day, but it might not be available for you, but it's available for somebody else. Why? Because everybody has a different eye for the market. My FOMO was definitely extinguished substantially the moment I realized, oh no, if I've taken a loss today, or today was a losing day, I don't need to trade today. I can just come back tomorrow. And if tomorrow's another losing day, I can come back the day after. Why is it that I'm so married to the fact that I have to trade today? I've lost today, so I need to make this money back today. No, the market is open 5 days a week for a reason. Because every single day, something will happen. Whether that's on an internal scale, whether that's pro-trend, whether that's counter, something will happen. If I truly believe that the markets are open and moves take place every single day, not major ones, sometimes just minor moves, I should have the confidence to know that, okay, you know what, I can possibly capitalize on this because my strategy teaches me to. Today, psychologically, might not have been my day. Tomorrow, I might be in a better mental state. So what? I hold on to the fact that if I know how to fish, I'm a fisherman. Today, I might sit by this lake, by this river, for 3-4 hours and not catch anything. It's just a variable that when you learn how to fish, today might not be your day. Same thing with trading. Today might not be your day, but guess what? Tomorrow you go back to that same place, that same market, that same pair, at that same time, that same...
Immaginate avere NASSER come zio, ragazzi. Mamma mia.
Kill zone. At that same, and it'll be your 3-4 hours and not catch anything. It's just to know that, okay, you know what? I can possibly capitalize on this because my strategy teaches me to. Today, psychologically, might not have been my day. Tomorrow, I might be in a better mental state. So what? I hold on to the fact that if I know how to fish, I'm a fisherman. Today, I might sit by this lake, by this river, for 3-4 hours and not catch anything. It's just a variable that when you learn how to fish, today might not be your day. Same thing with trading. Today might not be your day, but guess what? Tomorrow you go back to that same place, that same market, that same pair, at that same time, that same kill zone, and you might catch something. So I've sort of become so comfortable in that, and I managed to trade in bliss, knowing that I'm a fisherman. And I always use this analogy because it is the most accurate analogy ever. I'm a fisherman. Today the fish slipped away. Today I caught a trade, but it might not have been the best trade. Might not have been the best fish. You see, might have caught a barracuda. And then on a Thursday, I caught a big tuna. You see, why? Because it took me time to take profit. I had to reel it in. It was tough. Retracements. Reel it in. Then I finally caught the big tuna. When it comes to trading, I give that example. That's what helped me, looking at things from a fisherman's point of view. When it comes to real life, honestly, bro, it just stems from knowing that everything is written. Everything is preordained. I'm a person of faith. I like to believe that this was all decreed. Why would I have fear of missing out when my future is written? The amount of money I'm going to receive is written. The status of my life is written. The people in my life are written. The feeling I'm going to feel for the rest of my life is written. If I'm going to be a happy person, if I'm going to be depressed, if I'm going to commit suicide, if I'm going to go on to be a great man, all of these things are written. So why would I have the fear of missing out in general life when I know that God...
Raga, però guardate che cazzo di forehead c'ho. Baciamogli la testa, raga. Baciamo la testa a Yarimi.
Is the perfect person to steer this ship that I'm in. I just have full trust in that, and I'm good with whatever the outcome is, whether it's for me or whether it's against me. And sometimes what you think is against you isn't actually against you because it's preventing you from a harm. So that's general life. But if you go back there, what about you?
For me, I think what you said there, I really agree with in terms of the faith aspect of it. For me, I believe that what's not meant for you will never hit you, and what is meant for you will never miss you. So when it comes to trading and real life, I think it took me a while to truly understand this and be content with it. I think it comes down to contentment, yeah, because I'm sure you'll agree with this. Another thing is comparison is the thief of all joy, and I think the reason why people feel
Questo, ragazzi, in cielo non è una roba vera, perché dipende come ti compari alle persone, perché sinceramente, raga, questa veramente è una gran cazzata che viene detta sempre. Perché è ovvio che se ti compari alle persone in un modo di dire perché lui ce l'ha fatta, ma sto qua un coglione, sarà ricco di famiglia, e anche se è di ricco di famiglia, ho sentito tante persone dire sta cosa qua, ma TJR è ricco perché comunque i suoi genitori l'hanno aiutato. Nonostante abbia detto che i suoi genitori non l'avevano cacciato di casa, poi che può essere vero o no, però la comparazione dipende come viene fatta. Se te sei una persona che non applaude agli altri, non sei una persona che nemmeno guarda YouTube, perché tante persone non guardano i video su YouTube di questi ragazzi qua, di questi mentori, perché sono non invidiose, ma non riescono a vedersi lì a fare quel video lì. Secondo me, secondo la mia percezione, tante persone non guardano video YouTube di queste persone, dicono che è una perdita di tempo, ma secondo me non lo so. Però il fatto di compararsi con una persona, dire lui è partito da questo punto qua, ha avuto delle difficoltà, io posso farcela come ce l'ha fatta lui, sicuramente ci vorrà tempo e tanti sacrifici, ma ce la farò. Quel caso sì, non è una cioè non ti ruba la felicità. Questo esempio qua a me non mi sa cioè non mi piace mai quando lo sento. Però vabbè, sentiamo cosa dice.
It's because sometimes they're comparing. So they're one comparing themselves to someone else's
prophets.
someone else who's further.
E anche questa cosa qua, la sta per dire, further vuol dire più lontano. Non comparatevi se una persona è a livello 90 o a livello 100, voi siete ancora a livello 20, cercate di scalare 5 scale alla volta, no? Ed è un po' una cosa che aveva detto Diego Barrera, che è un ragazzo che io ho guardato, mi ha pure commentato su TikTok. Vera trading. È un po' questo esempio qua, raga. L'aveva fatto nel video di qua, l'analogia delle scale, no? Non so se aveva detto per confrontarsi agli altri o no, però comunque aveva detto che c'è un processo, quindi te impari cosa sono le candele, poi ops, tipo becchi la faccia della scala e poi devi salire quello scalino lì, poi devi backtestare e fare forward testing, poi becchi il muro. Aveva fatto l'esempio qua, aspettate. Vi faccio sentire anche cosa diceva.
Right? But like, and you climb ground level the analysis versus eval. If you haven't passed an eval and you see all these people doing it, or you see me.
L'aveva detto per proprio la comparizione, non so come si dice.
Never got a payoff. You never passed an account. I was in your shoes.
Sentite.
Literally a month ago, right? I was in your shoes a year ago. Right, a year and a half in, it took me a year and a half to pass my first eval. If you haven't passed an eval and you see all these people doing it, or you see me now passing evals quick, everything in life is experience. I love the analogy that you're walking up a stair with your trading journeys, right? When you're walking up stairs, think about stairs. I don't know if I have anything on me. Think about stairs, right? When you're walking, you're on the ground level, you walk, and this is when you first start trading, boom, you run into a wall. What is this wall? You got to overcome the wall, right? Just like a stair. So you hit the wall, and you climb up that wall. Okay, you get your first funded account where you learn your strategy. Boom, you climbed up that first wall. You didn't know what a candlestick was. Now you do. Now You're walking along, and boom, you hit the next wall, and that's the next step, the next stair, right? It goes like this. It's a stair here. I can't visually do it, right? But like, we all know what a stair is. I'm gonna just look up a picture.
Basta, raga, andate a guardare anche questo video qua, è bellissimo. Poi è il suo primo video che lo guardo e sincero mi è piaciuto un botto come ha spiegato il tutto. Un grande. Continuiamo qua, vediamo cosa dice.
Or even on social media is because sometimes they're comparing. So they're one comparing themselves to someone else's prophets. Someone else who's further than them in trading, or even on social media. And social media does that a lot. You have to be very, very careful with who you're comparing yourself to. For inspiration standpoint, that's fine. You're working towards something. But from a standpoint of, why are they ahead of me? Why am I not there?
Mamma mia, io ragazzi ho sentito una persona che conosco e dicono Hanno detto sta roba qua, ve lo giuro, raga, ma è proprio fastidioso, perché vedi che quelle persone non ci credono abbastanza e trovano scuse per oh my god. Oh, cosa ho fatto?
For inspiration standpoint, that's fine. You're working towards something.
Tante persone dicono: ma perché ce l'ha fatta lui? Ma sto qua sarà un ricco, ma era già ricco da giovane. Ma io sta cosa qua, raga, ve lo giuro, la cosa più bella è che documenterò tutto. Magari diranno: tuo padre lavorava come petrolio o scavava il petrolio in Egitto.
But from a standpoint of why are they ahead of me? Why am I not there? I think it can be detrimental for your mindset in trading. For me, when it came to trading, if I see someone else has caught a trade and I didn't that day, I think, oh, that's good for them. That's their day. I think I truly had to fully believe in myself and my ability and accept that when I trade and I'm on the charts, I will catch whatever I'm going to catch for the day, if it's meant for me. If it's not, it's fine. Another day will come and another opportunity will appear. In life, you have to understand as well that it's not a race, it's a marathon. And as long as you finish the race, see, this is where people get it wrong.
Io sta roba qua ho detto, adesso io ve la trovo, perché vi dico che i video di trading non sono inutili. Adesso andiamo a vedere e me lo ricorderò. Mi sa che l'aveva detto allora. Cazzo, figa, però me ne guardo veramente troppi. Mi sa che l'aveva detto Scarface qua. Credo, o Umar Ashraf nella roba. No, Umar Ashraf mi sa. Qua. No, questo è il mio video. Oh my god. Andate a cercare il video, raga, mettete mi piace, sennò.
So then in the end again,
Però
you don't have a good strategy. Even if you have the best strategy in the world, your emotions will hijack your process. Yeah. And that's why capital placement and when to increase size and when to take certain trades becomes important here and not here. Because what we want to do here is we want to develop. It's not our goal. Control the things you can control. It's not our goal. Control the things you can control. There's no aha moment. Emotions overrated. All kick into the final thing, which this whole process of A to 5 is a slow marathon.
Non è uno sprint, non è uno sprint, è una maratona. Sentite, ragazzi, perché noi ce la faremo, cazzo.
Right, that's the last thing I want to just touch on before we go into this. Trading
sentite veramente.
Right, that's the last thing I want to just touch on before we go into this. Trading is a marathon, it's not a sprint, and the reason I want to emphasize that on people is because everyone watching, and I want you guys to think about this for a second. If you've been trading for 2 years, if you've been trading for 3 years, even if you've been trading for a year, how many people that have been watching have rushed into trying to make money in 3 months, have rushed into making money in 6 months?
Però cazzo, adesso non... Vabbè, dal video vedrò a che parte sono arrivato.
They believe they're in a race, a 100-meter sprint against others.
Esatto.
And so they're doing stuff out of their norm. Yeah. Something that they can't afford to do yet.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to skip the hard work and get ahead. So they're like, you know what, let me just do this and I'll be there too. Like you're trying to run before you've even walked. So for me, I understood, where am I right now? If I'm in the walking stage, I'm in the walking stage. I will get to the running stage soon, provided I'm consistent with this walking stage. And I think people just try to skip.
You know what I find profound about that?
Yeah.
People want to seek a potential husband, a potential wife.
Husband, no, grazie. Husband.
Seek a
stage. I will get to the running stage soon, provided I'm consistent with this walking stage. And I think people just try to skip.
You know what I find profound about that?
Yeah.
People want to seek a potential husband, a potential wife. And they know that what comes with that, a talking stage, right? But you want to become a trader without a walking stage.
That's a good one.
Come on, man.
That's a good one.
Guys are trying to run straight away.
Yeah.
Come on, you have to work on your foundations, work on the basics first.
And you know what? A real life example, me and you watched a video the other day where people just got into trading, and then all of a sudden
they want to self-trade.
They want to self-trade and just get straight into it, without no studying, no time.
Also, in that video, the individual was taking a trade and comparing himself to the other person who's in the same trade.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, why have I made this much? The person just has more money than you. He has more capital. His account balance is way bigger than yours. So he's able to place a larger lot size. That's why he's making more money from the same move. But the guy just started trading and he's already comparing himself to someone, you know, who has a bigger account balance than him.
Sincero, raga, devo mettere questa cosa qua, lo faccio. Però non la faccio da un posto di invidia o qualcosa del genere. Però, raga, oh my god, i video di Trades by Sai, e veramente lui era nel suo prime non ora. Vabbè che adesso fa molti più soldi di agosto. Però ad agosto o a settembre, inizio settembre così, che iniziava a pubblicare tanto, inizio settembre, metà settembre così, io e lui veramente prendevamo stesse operazioni, ma lui veramente fa $500.000 a posizione così. Io sincero mi trovavo anche a dire cazzo, però un giorno arriverò lì. Non dico perché l'ha fatto o sicuramente è ricco o sono risultati falsi. Tante persone, raga, dicono risultati falsi. Va bene, sono falsi. E dopo? È quello che le persone veramente trovano ogni cosa per criticare o per mettersi da posto, quindi essere nella loro comfort zone attaccando quello che fanno gli altri, perché non riescono a replicarlo loro.
I think it's just it's a lot of self-comparison, and I think I'll end with this. Yeah, you see, like I was watching a horse race the other day.
Why the hell were you watching the horse race?
No, it was on the screen in the restaurant. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
So so there was a horse race.
I was thinking, what did I skip, bro? What part of your life did I skip?
No, you were there as well, but you weren't watching it. You were doing something else.
Yeah.
And I remember I heard this a while ago. Yeah, but I'm gonna say it in a kind of like learning format, or motivational format. You see, a horse, yeah, their eyes are actually covered in the race. Why? Because if they look left or right, they'll see other horses.
Compare.
So when their eyes are covered, they don't know, and they just go straight forward. Obviously, the jockey is like making sure he's steering them, etc. But they just run, and that's the type of mindset you need to have sometimes. Some people call it tunnel vision, but you literally just have to stop comparing yourself and understand that you will get there, and that's what I did. I understood I would get there. And I'm happy that I'm here now, but I just had to stay in my own lane. That's the thing. Too many people just looking at other lanes and want to drift into that lane, or let me catch up. Like, just stay in your own lane. As long as you're further than where you should be in life, or at the end of the day, you can say, yeah, I've made progress today. That's what's important. And that's what I did for many, many weeks, many months. And now when I look back, I'm like, wow. Like, I built a house now, brick by brick, as opposed to like, trying to get the whole house just straight in one day.
Minecraft.
Yeah. So
no, that's amazing, bro. That's a very beneficial example. Appreciate it, man. I didn't know the horse. I didn't know the horse's eyes are covered.
Yeah. They're covered.
That's took a lot.
Yeah, I saw you done that Minecraft. I heard that.
Yeah.
So the next question is: in what way has trading showed you your deepest flaws? How has that helped you grow as a person?
I'm not even gonna answer this.
Ok, eccomi.
So the next question is, in what way has trading showed you your deepest flaws, and how has that helped you grow as a person?
I'm not even going to answer this. I want you to answer this on my behalf, because you witnessed this.
Oh, okay.
You witnessed this.
Alright.
I can sit here and talk the talk. You let them know how I used to be before.
So
some things were good. They worked in my favor. But go on.
Alright, cool.
Tell them the Yarimi from 2020 up until the Yarimi from now. How has he grown in the trading space?
So one thing that I recognized, about Yarimi, when I first met him, he's a very eccentric. That's the right word, right? Eccentric. Yeah.
In what context?
Like, just 100% maximum everything. You live life on 100% maximum mode. Everything needs to be 100% maximum. Like, maximum. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this. So this is like the norm. Nah, I'm gonna do it here.
No, hold on. Explain that.
So it's like, let's just come down to the question. When this guy got into trading, I knew from day one, this guy's gonna do mad stuff. He's gonna do the highest lot size, and he's gonna be like, yeah. Because I just knew, because everything is maximum with you, right? Everything is maximum with you. So I was like, this guy's gonna blow hella accounts straight away. And I know, because he doesn't know.
And that happened.
He's like I thought, before I started trading, I thought mindset, if you have a good mindset, you can trade. Yeah. And Yarimi had a good mindset. Yeah, you had an open mind, where you're like, I believe anything's possible. I believe in if I try this, I'll give my all to it.
Yeah.
But I think he wasn't ready for trading in the way where it's like, it's gonna humble you.
Yep.
So I knew.
Scusate.
that if this guy was to put £500 in an account, he's trying to turn into 5k that same day. He's trying to retire tonight. And wow,
you think good of me, bro. 5k is humble.
5k. No, but in the beginning, you think a bit small, innit? Like, you don't think that big.
Yeah, no,
I'm talking about your early days. When you knew what was possible, I know you was like, I'm going to turn this to 100k tonight, this week.
Yep.
So, for you, I feel like one thing that it taught you is, you need to calm down. You need to follow the process. And I think one of the biggest flaws that I probably exposed was that. So they say, go big or go home. This guy was trying to go big from the beginning. When in trading, you need to work your way up, brick by brick. But this guy wanted the house instantly.
Yep.
And I think I don't blame you for that, because you were just coming into trading. Obviously, we were trading with Eds, and this guy was already there.
Yep.
And you're thinking,
if he's there, I can be there too, right?
Ads. Mi sa che sono i due gemelli. Aspettate. Cerco un attimo su Instagram.
The dashboard just updated and the time has officially come to request my biggest singular payout with any profit. As you guys can see right here, I have 12k per account across 5 accounts. The max that you can request is 6k per account, so that'll be $30,000 requested across 5 accounts. Now, usually the max payouts I'm getting is like 25k from Top Step, but this is like officially my biggest payout with a singular prop firm. Alright, payout number 1. I don't know why they cooked me with this, but I guess I'm not requesting the full 6k. Request payout. Alright, payout number 2. Here's payout number 3. Okay. Payout number 4. And then finally, payout number 5. So unfortunately, my funded futures takes an 80% profit split, so what's going to my bank is 24k, a little bit more than the typical Top Step payout of like 22.5k. So even after profit split, it's still my biggest payout from one singular firm.
Now,
yeah, especially with his track record, what he done, that was mad.
without realizing that he put in work.
Yeah,
way before us, way before we started, So,
all right, cool. So this is just straight from me. This has not been scripted or anything, yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Cool. All right, cool. So this guy came in. He put in £500. He turned that to about £1,000. He was like, all right, cool. And I remember when I saw the sparkle. I always say this, yeah. I saw the sparkle in his eyes. Is the realization that, yeah, I'm doing this, and watch, I'm gonna make a killing from it.
Yep.
Is that realization? Like, I think I remember the exact moment. He saw his phone. He saw he had doubled his money, and he put it in his pocket, and he was just sitting there, and he was like, okay, cool. That was it. The trading light had been turned on, and he was like, you don't have to say anything. It's just, yeah.
You don't know what I'm about to do, right?
Yeah, exactly. You don't know what I'm about to. When I get this, yeah. And today, look where he is. Yeah. Today, look where you are now. So now, after that, reality hit. That money got blown.
Yeah, because we were trying to flip £500 into £1 million.
Yeah. So after that, reality got hit, and we had to now humble ourselves. And I think for you, see, that's sometimes the bad thing about trading. You realize the possibility, but you think that possibility is the reality, and it's not. Because now you're thinking, yeah, I can just double it again, and I can always do this. You're not thinking about compounding. You're not thinking about following rules. You're just thinking, I can just double it. I can just grow my money and do madness.
Yep.
So obviously we was living with each other during COVID. The tenancy came to an end. Everyone was allowed to go home. So we all went back home. So you went off, yeah? Then I'll get a call. Like, yo, bro, I just blew my account. I don't get this trading stuff. Yeah, I think let's sit down, and let's go through it a bit more. So I was like, yeah, calm, let's do it. So at that time, I was trading, but again, I'm not there with the strategy. I just have more experience and more time in the market. So then we linked up. I think you came to my house,
And we kept having like sessions where we're literally trading bodies.
Yeah.
Like I would go to your house quite often, and we would just be in your room just trying to figure this stuff out together, you know?
Yeah.
And sometimes you need that trading, bro.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's necessary, man.
Yeah, especially in that time, because for me,
we're both trying to figure it out in a time where we're both going through something very, very similar.
Yeah. What I would say is, for me, I'm ahead, but you know, sometimes you get burnt. So you're like, yeah, we'll do it.
Yeah.
But then you've got that new spark. So you're like, no, let's do this. So then you're holding me up, but then I'm also like helping you out as well.
È strabello, ragazzi, avere una persona così, ma proprio dal vivo. Io ho conosciuto tantissime persone brave su Discord così, però effettivamente sto gay di Ahmed, Marco Tellato, lo sto supplicando da 2 anni. Adesso poi gli scriverò il messaggio e mi ricorderò che ho parlato di lui, però dovrebbe iniziare, così almeno ci troviamo in biblioteca, tradiamo assieme, o lui viene a casa mia, io vado a casa sua, gli spiego. Però ragazzi, è un gay e non vuole iniziare. Cosa ci posso fare?
To do this. So then you're holding me up, but then I'm also like helping you out as well.
Yeah.
So you also kept me going as well at the time, and I'm obviously helping you. So then we would backtest as well. I remember we got some random programs trying to backtest on this. I don't even know what was going on there.
FTR. Remember the FTR?
Yeah.
The failure to return to this level.
Yeah. I remember that. Yeah, we had.
And the guy said to you, if you leak this course, you're gonna go to jail.
Yeah. He goes, if you leak this course, you're gonna go to jail, and you have to pay a 100k fine. And I was like, damn. But the thing about that course is, I didn't understand the guy's accent. He had a very thick, accent.
I was relying on you for
Luxembourg or
translation.
somewhere else. And yeah, we just couldn't get it. So, but the hunger is still there. Like, no, we have to get this. Because, you know, when you've tasted success and you know it's possible, you know you just have to figure it out. So then, we're going...
Ragazzi, per questa cosa qua, chi ha assaggiato il successo vuol dire che ce la farà. Quindi il fatto di vedere persone che hanno documentato il tutto e stanno iniziando ad avere i primi payout, stanno iniziando ad avere i primi 10.000 euro al mese, i primi payout, poi i primi tot soldi al mese consistente, poi i 10.000 euro al mese. Voglio chiarire questa cosa perché io tante volte dico 10.000 dollari al mese come se è facile. Non è facile, però diciamo che l'assaggio del primo successo io non ce l'ho avuto. Ho passato fase 1 di una prop, però già sono abbastanza consistente nel mio trading. So cosa vorrei vedere. Secondo me già quello è un assaggio del successo, perché raga, il successo sarà solo questa cosa che io farò, solo che inizierò a fare soldi, ed è scalabile fino a veramente cifre alte, che per le menti circondate da me, non mi sto alzando, però diciamo che per le persone normali il fatto di dire che puoi fare 50.000 euro al giorno analizzando il grafico non è, per loro è una... sei un matto. Sei un matto finché non funziona, poi ti chiedono come, ti deridono, ma poi proveranno a replicarti. Basta vedere.
Through that success and you know it's possible, you know you just have to figure it out.
Scusate, vediamo un attimo come ha chiuso il mercato. Non riesco a stare senza. Ok, ci sta. Sincero, se rompe sto massimo qua e va rialzo e tocca sta zona. Non vi ho fatto l'analisi, l'ho fatta su TikTok, quindi andate a seguirmi su TikTok. Vediamo se rispetta sta follia qua. Se me la rispetta potremmo vedere dei sell fino a sto minimo, e fino a sto minimo qua, e fino alla break qua in mezzo, perché comunque sta fogliera qua, allora sincero ve l'ho fatto su TikTok l'analisi, andate a seguirmi lì. Se qualcuno è arrivato fino a questo punto del video, SPX Isma su TikTok, e per favore mi segui. Raga, vado un attimo a pisciare e arrivo subito. Eccomi raga. Comunque sì, il titolo lo scriverò. Non ascolto i prof a scuola. No, deve fare rima, raga, perché non è bello, sennò. Non ascolto i prof, non ascolto i professori, ma ascolto NASSER AL YARIMI. No, è proprio brutta. No, devo trovare un bel titolo, raga, da dare al video. Allora, l'alimentazione batteria, risparmio energetico attivo. Ok, comunque, stop. Continuiamo, poi ci penserò.
So then, we're going through that day in, day out, trying to trade, blowing accounts. I remember in one of the videos, yeah, I remember saying to you, I don't know, when I think back, I'm like, well, yo, what was he doing? I'm like, yeah, I'm 50% down on my account, it's fine, I'm gonna make it back tomorrow.
Wait, hold on. You said that in a video?
Yeah.
You said that in a video?
Yeah, something like that.
I think you showed me this video.
I think, yeah, I need to show you. I think you have it all.
I think because we were in flip mode, like we thought trading was just flipping.
Yeah.
Because obviously we lived with Eds. Eds is a very great trader, yeah. He's a sick trader, one of the most accurate traders I've seen, yeah. Big up Eds. But because he had actually flipped accounts before from I think it was like 2.8k to 150k in 2 days or 3 days.
Ma chi è sto qua? Perché l'ho cercato sul suo Instagram, ma c'è ads VIP ed è privato. Perché pensavo fossero i due gemelli, ma in teoria no. Ads. Vediamo nei... No, i due gemelli sono... si chiamano Delz. E Mountain. Boh, vabbè.
Went from, I think it was £600 to 61k in 6 months or something like that. We saw that and we're like, oh, okay, so this is how to make it out. This is how you get capital.
Yeah.
To then trade normally.
Yeah. But even then, bro, think about it. Was there tons of traders on Instagram or social media talking about I got to pay out from this prop firm, that prop firm, or I'm scaling my account? No. So then what do you have to
look up to?
What do you have to even have reference to? You just have flip account videos.
Yeah.
And that's all there was at the time.
Yeah.
Like prop firms have really changed the space. But at that time when me and you are trying to trade, all we know is put money into an account, try to flip it. So at the time, that's what we're going off, right? So that's what we're following. So then, all right, cool, we're trading. Then you went off. Then I think you got a job. You was working in customer service, something like that, from home. And it's funny because I was looking at one of the videos the other day. It's just funny. You're just there like,
bro, I've got a Lamborghini open on another tab, and I've got Canary Wharf Apartments open on another tab.
Yeah, that's crazy. I remember you sent us that video. You're just like, it's funny when you look back. You're like, yo, I can't believe I was there. But yeah, then again, the calls, like, yo, man, I blew my account again. And you're like, oh, I just put £300. I took it to this amount, and then now it's gone.
Because that's the thing. Like, I actually used to take them to good amounts.
Yeah, I remember, bro.
5k.
Do you remember? There was one time this guy screenshot his account. He was up, but he was minus. I didn't get that.
Yep.
His balance was minus, but his account was up.
Yep.
And I'm like, bro, what's going on here? How have you done this?
Yeah. No, I remember it was a trade. I think it was gold. I can't remember. I was in 2 positions, and then my balance must have been like £100. One of the positions was in profit, the other one had stop loss. But because the other position was in profit, so basically one of them was like...
Comunque io veramente mi ricordo che appena iniziato, proprio nel gennaio, così, febbraio 2024, mi guardavo i video di Francesco Bartiromo che reageva proprio a sta roba qua. Tipo agli inglesi, perché in Inghilterra, raga, cioè, io non... Vabbè che non li conoscevo all'inizio, il NASSER non lo guardavo all'inizio, però fra i video più popolari qua di Francesco Bartiromo erano le reaction. Ed era inglese sto qua, ragazzo di 17 anni col Forex. Sto video l'avevo guardato con la semplicità. Figa, però volevo lasciare, cioè potevo lasciare dei commenti così da piccolo. Così andavo a cercare i miei commenti, vedere che cazzo scrivevo. Però sto qua, tipo in inglese, ha portato il conto, guardate. In teoria spiegava pure le posizioni, guardate.
Quanto ci ha messo a chiudere queste operazioni? Cioè, mi state dicendo che nessuno di voi avrebbe chiuso a 2000 sterline di...
Però sincero è una brutta roba tradare così. Non è una brutta roba. Rischiare però il 10% d'account secondo me ci sta. Però come si faceva flipping tanto tempo fa, devi avere le palle di riuscire a farlo. Io non riuscirei sinceramente.
One of the positions was in profit, the other one hit stop loss. But because the other position was in profit, so basically one of them was like full port, but I didn't know what full porting was back then. I just thought, let me put the highest amount of lot size that my account can handle for maximum reward. That's what I thought trading was, innit? And then that trade hit stop loss, so I was like in minus, just a little bit, but I was in minus because it was a live account, right? And then the gold trade was flying in profit, so I was up a mad amount even though the account was in minus. Because I hadn't closed the gold trade just yet. So yeah, that's what that was.
Now when I look back, I believe that's one of the flaws of small accounts. Because the reality is you're trying to make your monthly wage from a small account.
Yeah.
And you're over-risking and over-leveraging.
Sincero, vorrei riguardare un attimo il mercato, voglio vedere. Perché vabbè, appena apre, raga, fa dei bei movimenti. Vediamo, vedete? Cioè il prezzo era qua prima. Sono i primi di 15 minuti della giornata, quindi esatto, si sta già spingendo tanto in alto. Una cosa che mi piace, sincero, se vi devo dire, una cosa che mi piace. Sì, qua siamo vicini a prendere sta frogliera qua, sto order block. Facciamo order block, ha preso liquidità qua sopra. Cambiato struttura qua, quindi order block. Se me lo tocca il prezzo, me lo rispetta, pam, rialzo. Se mi rompe anche sto massimo, pam, rialzo fino a qua. E se adesso inizia a scendere, pam, ribasso fino a sti minimi. Ma il problema, raga, è che io trovo i trade, però poi non trado.
Your whole account just to try and account the flaws of small accounts, because the reality is you're trying to make your monthly wage from a small account, and you're over risking and over leveraging your whole account just to try and make that money. And I think that's the problem with what we were doing back then. So yeah, now so coming back to the question, I knew like, okay, this NASSER guy, he's very aggressive with everything he does, but I knew this NASSER guy, he's very aggressive with everything he does, but I knew that although you was aggressive with your trading, you'd also be aggressive in your learning and your progress. And I saw that as well. So you'd come back and be like, yo, I learned this, I've learned this, I've learned this. And you was making massive leaps forward in your trading because you was learning certain things.
Scusate. Arrivo,
So coming back to the question, I knew like, okay, this NASSER guy, he's very aggressive with everything he does, but I knew that although you was aggressive with your trading, you'd also be aggressive in your learning and your progress. And I saw that as well. So you'd come back and be like, yo, I learned this, I've learned this. And you was making massive leaps forward in your trading because you was learning certain things from your mistakes, from, you know, whatever you found as well, etc. And so I think that was one of the massive like flaws. You was very, very hyper. Let's say that. Yeah, just to round it off, you was extremely hyper, and you brought that into your trading, so your trading was hyper. And I think as a result of trading kind of humbling you, you've also like become less hyper in general as well. You become more like balanced. But before you was mad. I saw that you was learning a lot, so you're making leaps in your learning, right? And then one day I just saw you come off social media, so I took that as two things. Damn, this guy's gone. As in, like, he's fully blown his account and he's, like, going for it. Or, I don't know, maybe let me check up on him. And then...
It was both.
So, I'm talking, like, he removed all his pictures. And he was like, you know when somebody puts their profile picture as a black? Yes. That's when you know, yeah, something's going on.
So, no, I actually, like, yeah, I was gone.
Yeah, so it was a black profile picture. All his pictures were removed. And I was like... Alright, let me call this guy, make sure he's good, you know. Because I know what it feels like. Remember I told you earlier when I was deep in it on a Monday. So I was like, I think I must have called you. You're like, no, I'm cool. I'm just focused on this trading stuff. So I was like, alright, cool. So then I was like, let me give him some space maybe. Like, he's doing his thing or whatever. So, obviously I'm still trying to figure out, you're trying to figure out. Then all of a sudden, like, some weeks, months passed, right? I think it was a couple months actually. It was like 6 months, yeah? Obviously we're talking in between that. But you'd gone quiet, so I was like, I'm not sure if this guy's quit or what's going on. And then you come back and you're like, yo, bro.
Was it a FaceTime call?
Yeah. And your hair was longer. This guy had a beard as well. I was like, okay. And he was like,
Because remember, I came off social media with no beard.
yeah. It was struggling. The beard was struggling there.
Yeah.
On the side. So
Io non ho preso l'idea da lui perché non credo l'abbia fatto per quello. Però Nasser, tipo nei video, quelli vecchi, dove era ancora dove non era ancora consistente, non era profittevole, aveva la barba lunghissima, i capelli lunghi. Quindi un po' anche l'idea di fare sta challenge qua, di non tagliarmi la barba finché non avrò il mio primo payout, un po' è stata ispirata alla storia di Nasser, perché se andate a vedere i suoi video, i reel, dove pubblica come era prima, si vede proprio che aveva la barba lunga, i capelli lunghi, però si tagliava i capelli, cioè aveva la sfumata magari sulla barba o aveva la sfumatura sui capelli, però erano veramente lunghi.
social media.
Vabbè, lunghi come questi.
It was struggling. The beard was struggling there.
Yeah.
On the side. So he came off social media. His hair was short. It was kind of short anyway. Came off social media.
Non erano corti.
Comes back. I call him. No, once after 6 months, he calls me and he's like, "Bro, look at this. Have you heard about funded accounts?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, that FTMO stuff." And then times nobody really trusted prop firms. In the midst of all of that, I'd made a bunch of money in crypto, and I was like, feeling really proud of myself. And I remember we FaceTimed, yeah, and you were like, "Yeah, man," talking about funded accounts and stuff like that. And you're like, "Oh, what's the trading saying?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm still doing that." But at the time, I was trading like a 10k account, yeah, and that was some money that I'd taken out of crypto. So at the time, we're still trying to put money into accounts, doing what we know. And then Yarimi comes to me and he says, "Bro, why don't we try these prop firms, right? We're putting our own money into accounts, blowing it because we're trying to make 3k.
Yep.
Why don't we just get capital from a prop firm that's going to give you 100k, and then you can make that 3k because it's only 3%.
And I said, if we really know how to trade, and if we're really about this, why can't he pass?
Yeah.
I think, why can't he pass and make money?
Yeah. I remember when you said that.
Rather than you risking that mad amount on your own account, risk that much with a prop firm, because the risk is a lot less in terms of you're not going to lose 100k of your own money. You're just going to lose £400, £500 that you paid for the challenge. I said to you, if we're really about this, let's take that challenge. Let's take those trades on that account, and then we use that money to put into our own accounts, and we scale that way.
So yeah, I remember when you said all that, and it made a lot of sense. And I was like, you know what, that's true. Why is my ego getting in the way of, I'm gonna flip it, when the aim is to make money? So from then I was like, all right, cool, yeah, let's do that. So yeah, so then you came back, and I was like, okay, cool, this guy's made some massive progress. And I was like, okay, so I think we met up again, and I was like, what have you learned? You were like, oh, I've been learning about this, I've been learning about order blocks, I've been learning about this and this and this and this and this. I was like, okay, cool, I think I've heard of this before, but I'm not sure, show me. So then he showed me a bunch of stuff, and I was like, yeah, this makes a lot of sense. And then from there we just kept trading. There was still some time before we actually got to that next level, but I remember you got funded with a certain prop firm, and you was floating like 65, 75k. I remember it was like 72k, and you FaceTime me, and you were like, oh bro, look, 72k. And I was like, bro, that's crazy. 72k, you're like, yeah. I remember you was up 65k, but your total equity at the time was like 72k up.
Cioè, però le hanno abusate le prop. 62k. E veramente, cioè il massimo di prop che c'era magari erano 200.000.
Like, bro, okay, but I'm like, bro, that's crazy. 72k, you're like, yeah. I remember you was up 65k, but your total equity at the time was like 72k up. And you're like, bro, yeah. And I was like, bro, close that. And you were like, nah, I'm waiting for it to hit DP. I was like, this guy's been broke for so long. What are you doing? Close that trade, bro. And for me, it wasn't from a fair standpoint. I like to say that, right? It might have been. But I think to myself, bro, this guy's up 75k. That's life-changing money that we've never made. Why is he not closing? He's like, nah, I believe in my analysis. I'm going to let it hit TP.
Yeah. And that's the issue. You see, it was a double-edged sword, because I had such belief in trading, and I used to see trading just purely technicals. So a good part of my psychology at the time was I wasn't swayed by the money, even though I had £200 in my bank account at that time.
Questa cosa qua secondo me gli è arrivata a Nasser perché proprio c'aveva esperienza già magari un anno e mezzo di conti live e con tanti conti bruciati. Quindi il fatto di aver aperto tanti trade a mercato reale, backtestato e aperto a mercato reale, gli abbia dato la confidence anche di lasciare tanti trade così in running.
I wasn't swayed by the money at all. But the wrong thing was that what? The wrong thing was I didn't take profit. I was looking at it from a technical analysis point of view. When my life was in drawdown, I should have just closed the damn trade way earlier. Because I remember you told me, oh, close it. I'm like, no, because it hasn't hit my TP yet. I used to look at things as like, oh, it hasn't hit my TP. I'm sort of being a coward. No, I'm in this with my chest. Like you said, I used to do things 100% or nothing. So, like you said, I used to give things 100% or it would be nothing at all. So, in that moment there, I was waiting for my take profit to be hit just so I can say, yes, I'm a trader. I waited for my TP to get hit and my analysis was correct. But this bad part is what? Wanting to be right.
And all of this is on a funded account. And to be fair, you did close early and it did actually hit TP. I remember you saying, see, bro, it actually did hit TP. And I was like, that's great, but bro, you need that money now. That's real money.
Did I close early?
Yeah, you did close a bit early because it was the overall TP. Yeah,
I think I closed.
I think it was 70. It was only within a few K.
I think I closed like 3 pips before. Because I remember I think I was 3K away.
Yeah, you wasn't. Yeah, it was something like that. It was only like the full TP. Let's say it was 76K, but you closed at 73.
Yeah,
and I remember you were like, yeah, see, bro, it hit TP. And I think from that moment, technically, I clocked TP. Yeah,
I think I closed.
I think it was 70. It was only within a few K.
I think I closed like 3 pips before. Because I remember I think I was 3K away.
Yeah, you wasn't. Yeah, it was something like that. It was only like the full TP. Let's say it was 76K, but you closed at 73.
Yeah,
and I remember you were like, yeah, see, bro, it hit TP. And I think from that moment, even though we never spoke about this until now, I learned like, okay, cool. You know what? That trader would have hit TP anyways. Or I'm saying close it. I'm saying what I think is the right thing from a friend's standpoint.
Yeah, and at that point as well, like when I ended up closing that trade, I just said to myself, was it worth risking this whole trade for an extra 3K? I didn't even get paid that trade because the prop firm went bust. Fund and talent. I did not get paid. They actually paid me 1.5K of that total 73K or 72K, whatever it was. I still have the email. But it just goes to show that that if I didn't take action there and then and close that trade, what would have happened is what? I had belief, even though I had nothing. All I had was belief. Yeah, that was my breakthrough, and I didn't let that faze me at all.
And I think that's what you took into your next profit challenge, which then you ended up getting how much?
I think it was 26K payout.
26K payout, real payout this time.
It was literally the following month.
So it's funny how, okay, cool. You didn't get paid from this profit, but you still collected cash in the next profit.
You know what's mad, bro? Honestly, I was denied that 72K payout, and it didn't faze me one. I was denied that 72K payout, and it didn't faze me one bit. It just unlocked an absolute beast.
Because you're like, I know I can do this.
I know I can do this now. Like, I don't care. Keep your money. Keep your nonsense prop firm. I don't care. I know I can do this now. You've just ignited something inside me that I've been waiting for so long. Because I've seen it with my own eyes. I almost tasted it. The restaurant just closed down. But that was enough for me to transfer that fire and say, yeah, that's it, it's game over. I'm about to take over now, watch. Because I came off social media for 6 months. I had no profile. I didn't check on nobody. Nobody checked on me. I said, this is time for me to lock in. No, as in like, I didn't see anybody.
Yeah.
This is time for me to lock in. And I said, yeah, this is where you either cry and you walk away because you've denied a payout, or this is where you enter the villain arc.
Yeah. And I think from that day, it was villain arc initiated. So, yeah, from then, that was it. It was off to the races, as they call it.
Yeah.
How do you keep moving forward when it feels like everyone else is winning except for you?
You answer that first.
So for myself, I have my own goals and dreams that I'm trying to achieve. And I don't look at it like, oh yeah, this guy or that guy has to help me achieve this. I don't look at anybody else's journey because they have their own journey. So for me, I know that I'm in a certain chapter in my life, yeah? And I have to finish this chapter before I can go into the next chapter. You can't just skip chapters. There's no shortcuts. And I realized this as well. I remember I heard a quote a long time ago. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, quote a long time ago. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. So I understand if I'm going through hardship.
No, ho capito.
Chapter. You can't just skip chapters. There's no shortcuts. And I realized this as well. I remember I heard a quote a long time ago. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. So I understand if I'm going through hardship and, you know, maybe somebody
Il sonno sta iniziando a colpirmi.
Looks like
perché adesso sono, aspettate, non l'avete visto, mi sa? Sono le 12:30 di sera.
What they went through in the
non ho ancora sentito.
There's no shortcuts. Chapter. I know that I don't look at anybody else's journey because they have their own journey. So for me, I know that I'm in a certain chapter in my life, yeah? And I have to finish this chapter before I can go into the next chapter. You can't just skip chapters. There's no shortcuts. And I realized this as well. I remember I heard a quote a long time ago. If you do what's hard, your life will be easy. But if you do what's easy, your life will be hard. So I understand if I'm going through hardship.
Really. Go.
And, you know, maybe somebody else looks like they're going through it. Maybe I just don't know what they went through in the shadows. Everybody goes through something behind. Everybody goes through something behind the scenes. So maybe I'm just seeing the highlight of their life, right? So for me, I always understand, one thing I've always understood, especially about people that are successful, they always have a story behind their glory. So while you might see them being celebrated in front of everyone and it looks like they live in such a great life, they've always gone.
Però stavo sentendo ve lo giuro, però non ho capito.
So I understand if I'm going through hardship, don't know what they went through.
Okay.
You know, maybe somebody else looks like they're going through it. Maybe I just don't know what they went through in the shadows. Everybody goes through something behind. Everybody goes through something behind the scenes. So maybe I'm just seeing the highlight of their life, right? So for me, I always understand, one thing I've always understood, especially about people that are successful, they always have a story behind their glory. So while you might see them being celebrated in front of everyone and it looks like they live in such a great life, they've always gone through something to get there. So I never judged another person based off what I'm just seeing, because I think, you know what, the higher they are in life, usually the harder the story is that they've been through, because sometimes it takes certain pain to get to certain places, right? No pain, no gain. So I know that certain people have been through certain things, and I'm always curious when I meet successful people, okay, what have you been through? What was one of your hardest moments, etc.? And I don't compare myself to anyone, because I think to myself, I'm just going through my own journey right now, and I need to keep my head down and stay focused on this goal that I'm trying to achieve for me. At the end of the day, I'm trying to achieve it. I can't expect somebody else to achieve it for me. I gotta do it myself. So I think it just comes down to just keeping your head down, man. Just don't look left and right. When you're driving, you're in your own lane and you're focused on where you're going, your own destination, right? So for me, that's what it is. How do you handle the feeling of chasing a dream that nobody really supports?
We're not here for praise, we're not here for thanks, we're not here for the cheers. We're here so that we can provide. And in times where you're trying to achieve a life that's abnormal to whatever your norms are, whatever your customs are, whatever you've been used to growing up, people are going to look at you and point fingers. People will look at you, point fingers and say, this guy's rebellious. And you have to find comfort in being labelled a rebel temporarily, because if you aren't labelled a rebel, you're just going to settle for the norm. But because you're trying to achieve an abundant life, it requires more from you. That's why I always say your current self is not enough. If your current self was enough, you would have been where you wanted to be at this moment in your life. At this moment in your life, but you're not. Why? Because your current self is insufficient. You have to grow beyond yourself. You have to become better. You have to nurture yourself. You have to develop patience. You have to adopt a delayed gratification mindset as opposed to an instant gratification approach to life. You have to grow beyond yourself. If you've grown up in London, confined by these postcodes, shackled by the borough that you're in, speaking the tongue of people that have never achieved, what else do you expect? You're never going to grow in life. You're always going to be in a stagnant position. I come from the same places. I'm from North London. I went to school in Edmonton. I lived in Edmonton. I went to Islamic school in Tottenham. Lived in Southgate. Lived in Enfield. Used to get my haircuts in Turnpike Lane. I'm from those same areas. I'm from the same poverty that we all come from. I'm from the same struggle that we all come from. I just knew my current self isn't enough. So instead of getting caught in the hype or being on road or trying to act like a gangster, trying to act like I'm on road, even though all my friends were on that, I said to myself, no, I want a better life for myself. I've never smoked in my life. I've never smoked shisha in my life. I've only taken one puff, and that's because my cousin set me up. He gave me the pipe, took a picture, sent it to my mum as a joke. I was very young. I never smoked in my life. I never sold drugs. Never smoked weed. I stayed away from that stuff. I was always trying to get to the bag to provide a better life for my family. Because I knew these things were distractions, right? I knew these things were distractions. So I understood that from a young age. And I said to myself, okay, I'm not indulged in these nonsense activities, but my personality is still kind of holding me back a bit. My personality is the anchor that's not allowing me to swim upwards and catch a breath. So I knew. So at that moment, I knew I had to change. I would listen to personal development, even though I don't understand half the things this guy's saying right now. I'm listening to motivational speakers. This is all very new to me, but I had to do it because I didn't have positivity in my ear where I'm from. I didn't have that. So I have to listen to speakers to know that.
Esatto, ed è quello che ho detto sta cosa qua nel video YouTube. Se i vostri familiari o i vostri amici non capiscono quello che state facendo, tanto conforto, tanta... È un po' una persona su YouTube come Nasser, è un po' una persona che ti abbraccia nel momento difficile, perché... Oddio, perché voglio piangere? Però tante di queste persone, no? Secondo me vengono nella tua vita per non assicurarti, ma proprio per darti della motivazione per continuare a credere in quello che fai, anche se nessuno lo fa, o tante persone ti prendono in giro per quello che fai o per i tuoi obiettivi. Però
okay, there's a life beyond speaking slang. There's a life beyond listen to speakers to know that, okay, there's a life beyond speaking slang. There's a life beyond using the same adjectives every single day. There's a life beyond not being eloquent. I needed to work on those things, and I'm still working on those things. So the point is what? Your current self is not enough for you to become successful. If it was, you would have been successful. So look at the trajectory of your life and say to yourself, okay, if I'm here, I've been stuck here for the past how many years? Isn't there a pattern? What if that pattern is, okay, you have to change a few things about yourself. Not your entire personality, no. You can still keep your personality, that's fine. But you have to change your bad habits. And you have to iron out your flaws. And you have to work on your discipline and say no to your desires to the best of your ability. That's what I did. So for me, it's like, I didn't need support from people because I knew where I was headed. I said, as long as I got myself, my discipline, my strong mind, I'm okay. I'm going to walk through this field without a single person believing in me. And I'm okay with walking out with thorns and pricks on my back. Being stung, I'm okay with that. So I understood that. I don't need you to support me. If you do, I appreciate you. But I don't need you to support me.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think for myself, one thing that I realized early on is, how can I expect support from people that are not going the same way I want to go? How can I expect support from people that don't have the same vision I have?
How can you expect support from people that are resisting your success? Yes or no, baby? Support resistance, by law, so high.
So you are going to be alone. That's That's the reality. You're going to be alone sometimes on your journey. And I was alone a lot of the times where I would realize, you know what, this is not the circle that I want to be a part of. Or I just have different goals to my friends around me. I'm going to have to be alone. And that's fine. It's okay because I know where I'm going. In the moment, you know, you want to feel good. I think that's where it comes from. You want support because it's going to feel good and it's going to give you that confirmation that, yeah, what I'm doing is right. But oftentimes, at the moment, you know, you want to feel good. I think that's where it comes from. You want support because it's going to feel good and it's going to give you that confirmation that, yeah, what I'm doing is right. But oftentimes, what you're doing, right, is not going to get support because people don't understand it. We have to understand where we come from, where we came from, right? Is the norm success?
Nope.
No. The norm is what it is. So how can I expect people to support and understand where I'm going if they're not really trying to go there themselves? Shout out to my mom. She really, you know, supported me in terms of like, yeah, you know, you can do it. I believe in you and stuff. She didn't understand exactly what I was doing. My dad, he was just like, you'll just make money. Because if you don't make money, then, yeah. I don't care about what you're doing. Whatever you're doing, just make sure you make money. And I was like, don't worry, it's not, you know, anything like dodgy or whatever. I just gotta get this thing. He never really understood it, but for me, I would say like, I had to just be alone, learn to work in solitude, learn that I can believe in myself and have my own back as well. And the interesting thing is, along your journey, you actually meet people that are like-minded. Met people like yourselves.
Esatto. Raga, queste persone qua le incontrate dove? Su YouTube? Nel vostro paesino? Nella vostra città? Boh, non lo saprei. Però le persone veramente che, ad esempio Malek, Malek raga è diventato il mio mentore. L'ho incontrato su YouTube e di solito almeno settimane fa restavamo su Discord veramente per ore. E anche adesso, se magari dobbiamo fare una chiamata così, stiamo su chill sul Discord, letteralmente stiamo per ore su Discord. Non per quello che troverete voi nel vostro percorso. Dopo un po' che siete da soli, arriverà quella persona ad illuminare il tutto o al farvi ricredere in voi stessi. Che può essere anche un video su TikTok, raga. Un video su TikTok può motivarvi nel continuare, per quanto possa sembrare cringe. Però è quello. È quello. Basta.
And have my own back as well. And the interesting thing is, I can be alone, learn to work in solitude, learn that I can believe in myself and have my own back as well. And the interesting thing is, along your journey, you actually meet people that are like-minded. Met people like yourselves, met other friends as well, and you're on the same path. And that's what usually happens. You need to run alone long enough, and eventually you'll meet somebody else that's also running that same path. And if your goals align, now you have somebody that you're running with. And that's when it's the best, because now you're helping elevate each other up. And I think if you're lucky to find that bro or that person that you can run with, it's great. But sometimes it won't always be like that. Sometimes you'll be alone for a long time. But you have to be comfortable with that solitude. I mean, I remember seeing you many times. I think there's one famous snap that you have where you're in the you're in the forest by yourself.
Yep.
Why were you in the forest by yourself?
I needed a place to get away, and I needed a place where I could just think freely. And I would go and run there every single day. I'll take my bike there. I would park off the bike and I would run. I'll go and run in the forest, or I'll do some shadow boxing some days. So I would go there just to free my mind, really, and just be in a state of deep thought.
What do you think about this as well? I think it also comes down to sometimes, you know, you might not have that support, but you believe in something so much that you want to prove it right to yourself. You're like, you know what? This dream and goal that I have, I am going to work until I get there, not just to prove it to people, but to myself. Because I don't want to be a joker to me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to say, I'm going to do this and then not achieve it. No way. I'm going to make sure whatever I say, I do, and I make sure that my words mean something.
You should look in the mirror and see you, not look in the mirror and see others. People are so focused trying to prove it to others, they forget that they actually owe it to themselves. What you been grinding for all these years? What you been struggling for? Why have you been putting in work for so long just to prove others wrong? That's such a whack dream. That's so low.
I was literally gonna say that.
You owe it to yourself, bro. Like, how long have you been grinding for? Your purpose is to prove others wrong. Okay, I understand it can be an element of that, because I had an element of that, but that wasn't my sole purpose. I'm trying to make it out for my family, live a good life, and help people. That's my goal. That was my goal, and that still is my goal. Even though we made it out now, we've helped families, so on and so forth, okay? But it's still a greater level to help family. There's still a greater level to help people. Because it's not all done, bro. It's not all done. It's not all done. I haven't achieved everything I want. I have a lot of responsibility. So, yes, as much as I've helped a lot of people in my family, I want to do much more. Because I still haven't done what I want to do. You see, bro? So it's like, you've been grinding all these years just to prove others wrong. You don't owe it to yourself. You don't want to feel satisfied for all the hard work you put in, for all the sleepless nights, for all the stress, for all the broke times. Get the money. I guarantee you, they will come knocking later. You've seen it in my life, firsthand.
Yeah. It's always like that. And this is not to throw shade, but it's like they don't believe in the beginning, but then later on, they start asking for tips.
You are irresponsible. You are a person who has no discipline. You are somebody who has no eye for the future. You are a maniac until you figure it out. Then they call you a genius.
Yes.
And it's always like that. Look at every single person's story. Look at every single successful person's story. They all have this one commonality. They looked like an idiot temporarily, then everybody called them a genius.
Yeah, that's it. To risk being a genius, you have to be okay with being a fool first.
Yep.
Or at least looked at one.
100%. So I think that brings us to the end of the video. Let us know how you found episode 1 of Zen Zone, and
Figa, se ce ne saranno altri, raga, bellissimo.
if the people are feeling it, we'll keep delivering. If you're not feeling it, we will stop delivering. Have an amazing one. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Check out Salih's link is in the description to go subscribe to him, and use my code YARIMI for 120% refund off of all of your funded next prop firm accounts.
Figa, lo dicono sempre che metteranno il link delle altre persone, ma non lo mettono mai.
Your boy,
Salih.
take care. Peace.
Bellissimo, raga. Sono commosso durante anche il video. Raga, ce la faremo, sì o no? Sì, ce la faremo. Ce la farò? Voi ce la farete? Sì, ce la farete. Basta, ragazzi, sincero sto video qua lo pubblicherò, perché sincero vorrei pubblicarlo adesso, però ci metterò un bel po' a caricare. Però dai, ve lo pubblico. Devo pensare al titolo. Dai, bella, raga, ci sentiamo domani. Come sempre, credete nei vostri sogni e iniziate a documentare il vostro processo. Bella.